Angel Reese just experienced a reality check, not from an opponent, but from her own teammate, Kamilla Cardoso, in a moment that left fans wincing. One glaring play, a notably quiet bench, and suddenly Reese transitioned from being the focal point to recording another inconsequential double-double in a loss against a struggling Phoenix Mercury team. This isn't merely about a single game. It all culminated in Phoenix, resulting in a significant breakdown in team cohesion. Was this the result of mounting tension, a case of karma, or perhaps the spotlight finally revealing underlying issues? Regardless of the cause, the effect was unmistakable. And when your own teammate starts highlighting your shortcomings, it's time to question what lies ahead when the person you're supposed to depend on becomes your biggest challenge. During Chicago's fourth consecutive defeat, the focus was on Kamilla Cardoso and Angel Reese, but not for the reasons Sky fans anticipated. The friction wasn't just speculative, it unfolded visibly during the May 27th game against the Mercury. This was the instance where Cardoso's on-court decisions unveiled what many had been speculating about: the Angel Reese facade. Kamilla Cardoso, oh no. Free Kamilla Cardoso, she is fed up with the Chicago Sky experiment. Tyler Marsh, once again, salute to you. You are doing the rest of the league a favor. This point-forward experiment, this Ariel Atkins trade, this has done nothing but backfire on you, backfire on the team, and backfire on the fans. Setting the scene, Cardoso was fully engaged, dominating the paint and securing rebounds. Reese, conversely, appeared disconnected. Every action seemed misaligned, and the usual synergy between teammates was conspicuously absent. The chemistry wasn't just lacking, it was palpably awkward. Then came the pivotal moment. Cardoso received an inbound pass near the top of the arc. Reese signaled for the ball, seeking attention. Typically, this would initiate a standard pick-and-roll play, but Cardoso hesitated. She glanced at Reese, paused, then decisively passed to another teammate. This wasn't merely a missed opportunity. It was a clear indication that Cardoso no longer trusted Reese to execute effectively. In a game where every possession is crucial, that decision was telling. Cardoso's body language further emphasized the disconnect after a failed pick-and-roll where Reese didn't set an effective screen. Cardoso responded with a noticeable eye roll before transitioning back to defense. Later, during a timeout, Reese attempted to engage in the huddle, but Cardoso turned away, effectively ending the interaction. These weren't insignificant gestures, they were deliberate actions from a player who had concluded she couldn't rely on her supposed co-star, all captured by the cameras. This wasn't about creating drama for its own sake. Cardoso's actions were intentional. She's not just a physical force, she's among the most astute players on the team. By choosing not to involve Reese, Cardoso was making a statement about the team's best interests. She began collaborating more with teammates who maintained ball movement, creating opportunities and striving to keep the offense dynamic. It was a strategic shift, not merely an emotional reaction. Cardoso was actively distancing herself from the errors that consistently occurred when Reese had the ball. We let's talk about the meme. The meme, I'm not even going to call it the basketball team right now, I'm going to call it a meme that is Chicago Sky. Because it's actually getting ridiculous. It's getting absolutely ridiculous. Fans immediately noticed the change. Social media buzzed with observations about how Cardoso was influencing both the team's morale and performance. Support for Cardoso grew as the game progressed, while criticism of Reese intensified. Observers highlighted how the offense stagnated whenever Reese was on the court. Ball movement ceased, energy waned, and possessions often ended in missed shots or turnovers. The evolving dynamic between Cardoso and Reese became the central narrative of the evening, overshadowing other aspects of the game. By the end of the game, it was evident that this wasn't just about a poor performance or a temporary slump. Cardoso's decision to bypass Reese in real time signaled a deeper issue, one that transcends statistics and highlights. The team's chemistry is deteriorating, and the offense is suffering as a result. The pressing question now is the extent of the damage one player's approach can inflict on the entire system. Is Reese's tendency to halt ball movement now a hindrance to Chicago's offense? Because Cardoso is making efforts in vain. The Sky's offensive flow has disintegrated, and it's not merely a phase. It's a direct consequence of Angel Reese's playing style. Instead of enhancing the team, her presence is causing the offense to stagnate. Ball movement slows dramatically, spacing disappears. What should be a cohesive attacking unit becomes immobilized every time Reese demands the ball and disrupts the flow. Turning your back to your team, walking away from the active plays going on, walking away from the actual basketball action. Yeah, Kamilla Cardoso's not a happy camper over there in Chicago, and I don't blame her. Again, this is another year of the same nonsense. Twice in the third quarter against the Sparks, she attempted the same spin move, both ending in missed layups. A spacing disaster. Defenders gave Reese space, challenging her to shoot, confident she'd likely miss. This left Cardoso isolated, compelled to move out of the paint to avoid turnovers or forced passes. The pick and roll, which should be a staple of Chicago's offense, is abandoned because Reese either can't or won't distribute the ball efficiently. Observers can see Cardoso hesitate to set a screen and then retreat, aware that the ball isn't coming. Or worse, that the play will culminate in an errant shot with no rebound opportunity. That's a game, bro. What is going on in Chicago, bro? What is going on in Chicago, bro? I know everybody, we enjoy gear. When Angel Reese get the missing layups, we clown. It's not just the half-court sets that are falling apart. The Sky's transition game is in shambles. Cardoso hustles down the court, establishing prime position for an easy lob, but Reese is still fumbling near half-court. Open lanes are there, yet instead of capitalizing on Cardoso's effort, Reese dribbles into defenders or hesitates too long. One fast break against the Mercury exemplified this. Cardoso had a clear path, but Reese delayed, attempted to force it herself, and lost the ball in traffic. These aren't just missed opportunities, they're momentum killers, happening repeatedly. The Chicago Sky just suffered a 94-89 loss to the Mercury, a game where they squandered a double-digit lead in the third quarter. It's not just a missed opportunity, it's a momentum killer, and it's happening over and over again. Listen, man, y'all the worst team in the league, bruh. Like, let's just stop playing games. This ain't even no, oh, let's be funny. I'm not even joking. I'm not smiling. I don't have a single joke for you. The Chicago Sky is trash. As a result, Cardoso is constantly adjusting her game, not out of strategy, but out of necessity. She's drifting away from screens, avoiding congested lanes, and even passing up easy looks because she can't rely on Reese to make the right decisions. The chemistry between them is toxic. Every possession appears as if two players are executing different plays. Fans and analysts aren't holding back. The offense doesn't just stall, it collapses. You can see the frustration mounting on Cardoso's face every time another possession goes to waste. It's not merely about missed shots or turnovers. When Reese is on the floor, the energy drains from the entire team. Morale drops, the pace slows, and players cease moving off the ball, waiting to see what Reese will do next. Even when she attempts to pass, it's often too late, with defenders already in position to disrupt the play. The Sky have now dropped 4 consecutive games, and each one resembles a real-time collapse more than a team enduring growing pains. Things have deteriorated to the point where there are odds on whether Reese will miss her first shot of each game. All of this starkly contrasts with the image Reese projects off the court. She's the face of the franchise, always front and center in highlight reels and social media posts, but the reality on the floor tells a different story. Fans are starting to notice, dubbing her the roadblock and highlighting how every possession slows down when she's involved. Cardoso, meanwhile, is visibly distancing herself, recalibrating her game to minimize the fallout. That's where the real tension is building between the player Reese claims to be and the one she's actually showing on the court. There's a growing conversation about the disparity between Angel Reese's brand and her actual performance. She's omnipresent on social media, showcasing pre-game outfits, dropping catchphrases, celebrating as if she's already won. It's a brand crafted for the spotlight, and for a time, it worked. But now the narrative is shifting. Fans and analysts are beginning to see the cracks, and the numbers from the Sparks game make it impossible to ignore. Her plus-minus finished at a confidence-shattering -3, according to the GameBox score. That's not just a bad stat. It's a warning sign that the hype isn't aligning with reality. Points, 12 rebounds, 3 steals. 0 for 8 from the field. 33% from the free throw line. Angel Reese, point forward. 5 turnovers, 1 assist. Point forward. 1 assist, 5 turnovers. Angel Reese, point forward. On the court, Reese's struggles are becoming the main headline. Opposing defenders are picking up on her tendencies, daring her to take those low percentage shots and watching as she misses layups that should be automatic. Teams are adjusting their entire defensive schemes to exploit her weaknesses, and it's working. The confidence she displays online isn't translating to the scoreboard. When you watch the Sky play, you can see it. Defenders sag off her, clog the paint, and force her into tough spots. Instead of stepping up, she's getting baited into mistakes, and the whole league is catching on. The Chicago Sky are awful. They're really damn bad, alright? They're 0-3 on the season. The only team worse than the Chicago Sky right now is the Connecticut Sun, which basically got rid of everybody. And on that team, outside of Marina Mayberry, who I believe she wants out of town now, and I can't say I blame her. What makes this disconnect even more glaring is how Reese handles herself after a rough game. The losses accumulate, but she continues to flash those same smiles in post-game interviews and drops cryptic Instagram captions that garner more attention than her actual performance. It's almost as if the focus is on maintaining the brand, regardless of what's happening on the court. Fans are noticing this too. One comment encapsulated the frustration perfectly. 17 rebounds. I don't give a damn about that, bro. Emphasizing that raw numbers aren't masking her scoring drought. The message is clear. People want to see tangible impact, not just stats that look good in highlight reel. Social media, once her biggest asset, is now becoming a liability. Clips of her missed layups and defensive lapses are ubiquitous. The same platforms that once crowned her queen are now likening her play to a bad reality show. That's a tough shift, and it's putting even more pressure on her to deliver something genuine. The hype machine that built her up is now fueling the backlash, and it's bleeding over into how people perceive the entire Chicago Sky organization. Inside the locker room, this shift in perception is starting to matter. When the player who garners the most attention appears more invested in her brand than in resolving the team's issues, it doesn't just tarnish her image, it damages team chemistry. The Sky are already struggling to find their rhythm, and every post, every viral clip just adds to the tension. Analysts are voicing what fans have been thinking. Reese's focus on self-promotion is making her seem like she's playing for herself, not the team. Let's give her some time, but 5 for 22. Yikes, folks. Let's just hide that 5 because that's 22%. Ooh. 5 for 22 is 22%. Ooh, that's not very good. That is not very good. And you know who's laughing about all this? Do you know who's smiling? The pressing question is whether Angel Reese can bridge the gap between her brand and her actual game. Can she shift her focus, step up when it counts, and become the player her team needs? Or will the Sky continue to sink while the spotlight remains fixed on her image? The upcoming games will reveal if she's ready to back up the hype, or if the disconnect will keep dragging the team down. Angel Reese's struggles are front and center as the Chicago Sky have dropped 4 straight, including a 94-89 loss to the Mercury, where they blew a double-digit lead. The numbers don't lie. Her performance is under the microscope, and fans are questioning if her presence is aiding or hindering the team. Can Reese realign her brand with her game before the season slips away? Let me know in the comments. Should the Sky bench Reese, or should they revamp the offense to work around her? If you agree with Cardoso, then comment "Fire the baby giraffe" down below.